do you think makes a top auctioneer? What in your little sort of toolbox, what are the skills that you've really tried to craft?
Yeah, I think first and foremost probably being able to read the auction floor really well and know what to do in what moments is your most important skill. You know, it's kind of like things slow down, and in slow motion you're seeing a lot of cues from buyers, a lot of cues from the sellers, and understanding where you're at in the auction, just knowing what buttons to press and when. I think also probably what you do outside of actually calling the auction is something that will separate auctioneers apart. You know, the ability to engage in conversations with buyers and vendors before the auction, during the auction, post-auction negotiations is often a value add. I think that's something that you know, is the difference between a good auctioneer and a mediocre auctioneer, is that they will get involved and they will add value in those conversations. You're getting paid for a specific skill set, which is to be able to be direct and clear and effective in this kind of very narrow space of time where you need to get a result on a big decision in a short time frame. Yeah, I think every auction you go to, you understand that it's important. It's important to the vendors, it's important to the buyers. You know, it's a focused space of time that you have to be switched on. So it doesn't matter whether that's the first one or the last one. You're there, you've got your whole focus and your whole energy switched on for it. So it doesn't make a difference where it sits in the day. Look, of course it's fun when we've got, you know, thousands of bidders and we're just, you know, because
it's like popcorn going off.
Well, that's it. You know, as an auctioneer, those are the moments that get your adrenaline going. But you know, and I think the value add in those moments is really at the back end of the auction. So it's not so much getting the thing sold, but it's how do you get the premium price at the back end. There's a different challenge and a different enjoyment, I think, in working with one bidder, for example. Like, that's a difficult scenario, but, you know, when you get it done and you get a good result out of it, I think it's equally satisfying. So,
now, is it crushing when you have to pass a property in?
Not at all. Not at all. I think, you know,
because it is for us. When we see it, we're like, damn it, we're really looking forward to seeing the big sold sign on our set.
I understand. Look, I mean, when you do them, you know, on repeat, you know, 10, 15 a day, you know, you come to understand that that's just a step in the process. Not every property is going to sell, and if they don't sell, it isn't the end of the world. I think everybody wants to, you know, go and slit their wrists, or people get in their heads about the idea that it has to sell at auction. But at the end of the day, auction's just a process. It's a process that's designed to cause a sale, and if that happens prior to auction, great. If it happens at the auction, fantastic. If it happens after the auction, that's okay too. So, yeah, well, I mean, we love to sell them under the hammer, but you know, it's not the end of the world.
So if you can explain to people why they should be still putting their properties to auction even in this market.
Yeah, look, I think auction, people have to understand that auction is a process. They get very focused on it having to go to auction and selling on auction day, but that's not necessarily what auction is about. The opportunity to sell via auction is to sell prior, to sell at the auction, or to sell after the auction. And the advantages that it has is that it reduces your days on market, obviously, so it causes a sale to happen in a more timely manner. But what it gives you is the opportunity, should you end up with competition on that home, to obtain a premium price by putting people in competition and using that competition to leverage the price upwards.